So there is a direct connection to inflation and the trans issue. I say, Charlie, come on, they couldn't be further apart. No, they're exactly the same. They're the same in this aspect. When you believe that men can become women, why wouldn't you also believe that you could print wealth? If you believe that someone can change their gender, why wouldn't you also believe that money is wealth?
Now, look, I'd like to admit that I have often been highly critical of Charlie Kirk, implying that in comparison to the other dozen or so Ben Shapiro clones that the right has pumped out, he is neither as well researched, is able to speak really quickly and all that. But he does seem to have one particular talent, Brett. I think he is able to put together an entire news rundown purely by Mad Libs. I think he is just saying random words and then linking them. We talked on Wednesday about his tall buildings make you liberal theory. Now, the trans community is responsible for prices going up. What do you think?
Insane.
The more you drive, the more conservative you are. Just look at the truckers. I think that driving requires a form of responsibility. It requires a sense of awareness. What does it cost? Insurance, gas prices. Where public transit, which can be nice in certain circumstances, I don't think is actually ideal. I think that public transit makes you unaware of the costs or the investment of what is required to get you from point A to point B. Where if you own a car in the suburbs or in the rural areas, you are intimately aware and invested in everything. How much does the car cost? How much does it cost to fill up? Now, when you are thinking about costs, you generally end up being a conservative. A good rule for life is the more you care about costs, the less likely you are to be a leftist. A leftist is someone who does not consciously think about what is the cost.
Can someone please call his studio? Because I think there's a carbon monoxide leak. I think he and his staff are in danger. There's something in the air that is melting their brains, Brett.
These are the smart. I love people that I meet. They're like Charlie Kirk. He's one smart cookie. At this point, they're just trying to see if they can get away with this stupidity.
The transgender movement actually matters even more than biomedical fascism, and they actually are together because the transgender movement is an introductory phase to get you to strip yourself of your humanity to mesh with machines. It's called transhumanism. They want you to say, okay, well, I can choose any gender. Why can't I just have like an exoskeleton of some sort of machine around me? This is what Meta is about, the metaverse, kids staring at screens all day long. This is documented, this is proven, this is where Silicon Valley is going. This is why they're so insistent on this transgender thing, because if you stop being a man, then maybe you could stop being a human being. Well, the agenda is kind of like Ready Player One meets Inception, where you kind of just hook up to a machine all day long and you're controlled by 5 companies that control your thoughts and your feelings. And the real world actually ends up being the not real world, where everyone just kind of wears goggles all day long. That's the deeper significance of the transgender movement that no one wants to talk about.
He's so coked up, dude. Like most people are only like this when they're schwitzing at like 4 a.m. after doing coke for 72 hours. Mm-hmm. I thought it couldn't get better than that video, but watching your face while it was happening was all. It was everything he said got crazy. He says at the end, this is what they don't want to talk about. No, it's not that I don't. Nobody thought to. Does he think that the word trans means that in every transhumanism is not about being transgender and there's no connection? What? Is he, as people are pointing out, is he freaking out about the robot sniper? Is that what he's, no, he's not freaking about that. He's freaking out about people being on social media too much, which he's, by the way, fine with if you're on his website tweeting at him, if you're on Rumble or Getter, do that all day long, by the way. You should listen to these things and interact with them all day long, but it's gonna make you not a man anymore, so you won't be human anymore. Who thinks this? Who in the audience is following this?